John Griswold here with Griswold Group. I'm excited to fill you in on what's going on in San Diego over here in real estate land. Been a kind of a shifting market. 2 weeks ago, we did talk about whether or not inventory had peaked. It looks like it definitely did. Sort of like the end of July, inventory peaked. Just over 6,000 homes on the market. I think we're at 6,200 around that at this time, and that inventory will start to decline as we head through the rest of the year, and then we'll bottom out in the holiday market as we prepare for the winter market and then into the spring next year. So with that shift, we've also had a positive shift with interest rates that were closer to 7, now we're closer to 6.5. We're kind of creeping right around that 6.5 jump, which typically does have a psychological impact on buyer demand. If we can get below that 6.5 number, we will see an increase in demand. We're actually already seeing about a 3% rise in demand over the last couple of weeks as interest rates came down. So that is lowering the expected market time a little bit. We were at about 110 days, now we're at about 99 days. So still well above the average expected market time for San Diego County right now. And so that certainly is a factor. And so the reasons for that is more about low demand than it is about high supply. We're actually a little under what we would see as a peak, closer to 7,000 homes. But because demand is at historical lows because of the rise of interest rates, it's really slowed down the pace of the market, and we really don't have enough buyers to soak up the additional supply that we had this year. And so that has resulted in about a 1% drop for San Diego County across the board. Obviously, there are local markets that are bucking that trend. But that is sort of an average of kind of what we're seeing. And we may have a little bit more of a drop, but I mean, just to put it into context, I mean, 1% on $1 million house means you're getting like $9,000 or $10,000 off the sales price. So we're not talking big numbers here. And if you're a buyer in this market, if you see a property that comes on that's checking all your boxes, it's probably checking a lot of buyers' boxes, not just yours. And so the good stuff is still going at or even over the asking price with multiple offers in under 10 days. So it's just something to think about as you're weighing sort of what you're looking for. If it's turnkey in a great location, nicely fixed up, nicely presented, and you're noticing that there's quite a few people at the open house and a little bit more challenging to schedule a showing because there's other showings that are already booked, expect that you're going to have to compete even in this market. The properties that are languishing on the market because they came on too high or the condition wasn't ideal, they're having to reduce their price once, maybe twice, maybe even a third time to get it sold before they start considering maybe we just don't sell in this market because they kind of missed the boat. So that's what we're seeing right now. So really, market value is determined by your competition first and foremost. Yes, we look at what's recently sold in the neighborhood, and we try to figure out that pricing, but competition is really what drives markets, and that's why we pay so much attention to what's going on with interest rates, supply and demand dynamics, because that's going to tell us, it's going to give us a pretty good indicator of where we're headed, which is frankly more important than where we've been. And so that's where closed sold data can only tell you so much. So this is why you want to be looking at markets on, especially right up until when you put a home on the market, you're looking at it on a daily basis and you're trying to get as much information as you can ahead of time from other agents that have listed inventory, and that's why I do so much collaboration with my colleagues because that real-time data can be make or break in terms of getting the highest possible price for a seller, or inversely trying to get the best deal I can for a buyer client. So anyway, I hope this is helpful, and we will talk on the next one.